Yeah, no, it's been a while, but I'm back. And we're here to talk about Invincible, Episode 1. Let's go! What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by WeAreCritics.com, place where we talk about movies, television, and pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe key and that notification bell so you can be up to speed about everything that I talk about here. Now, guys, listen, it's been a long time. I know. I've been away for a little bit. I went on a little vacation. I'm working on something kind of cool. Something that I've always wanted to do. Big dream of mine. I'm trying to open a certain kind of store, comic book store. So I've been kind of working on that, and I've been busy, working with critics and things of that nature. So I apologize for the lack of videos, but I'm back, and we're here to talk about some cool things. One in particular thing. We're going to talk about Invincible. I know I did a video about this before. It was like my initial. It was for the trailer, actually. I dropped a video for the latest trailer that they had dropped, and I promised that I wasn't going to spoil anything in that trailer. Not because I'm not into spoiling things, but also because I wasn't able to talk about it. But now I am able to talk about Invincible, and I've seen the first 3 episodes. Thanks to Amazon Prime for hooking it up. Those guys have always been showing me love, so I got to show them love back. You guys, make sure you go subscribe to Amazon Prime if you're not already. I don't know how you made it through the pandemic without Amazon Prime, because I mean, myself, period. I mean, just ordering things and getting things delivered. Like, I've had Prime since the beginning of time. Didn't mean to rhyme, but it just did. But yeah, what I'm saying is, Invincible. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna talk about episode 1. Then I'll do another video. We'll talk about episode 2. Then I'll do another video and we'll talk about episode 3. But right now, let's get into Invincible, episode 1. How did I feel about this episode? How did I feel about the series? Okay, this thing has, high expectations, because the comic book, I mean, it's pretty violent. So a lot of people were, they were kind of nervous. Was this thing gonna, hold up to the comic book source material, like most television shows and movies don't? I can be 100% honest with you and straightforward that this thing will, in fact, match the tone of the comic. And what I mean by that is, this is not a cartoon for children. Please keep them far away from this. This is indeed an adult animated series, in the vein of The Boys, but just in cartoon form. So if you guys are familiar with The Boys' tone, if you haven't read the comic, because I know a lot of people, there's casuals out there that are getting into these that have never seen comic books. If you're not a fan or have not seen the comic book, but you are familiar with The Boys on Amazon Prime, just know that the tone will match that in violence and in language. There hasn't been any like adult content as far as like sexuality or anything like that, but there's definitely some foul language. There's definitely cartoon adolescents using foul language, and there's a shit ton of violence. So you guys can be excited or not excited about that. If you're a fan, I'm pretty sure you're probably excited about that. But the cartoon, for those of you who do not know what Invincible is, it is Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead series. This is another one of his babies from Image Comics. Very, very popular. And very, very scarce. You can't really find these books just walking into any comic book store unless you're buying reprints. And from what I've seen, there are really only reprints of the first book. I have not seen many reprints of books 2, book 3, book 4, etc. But they're out there, because I have a couple of them. I even have a reprint of the number 1 book right here, which, it's a pretty solid book, and it pretty much matches story wise a little bit. It's a little bit differently. They brought writers in for the series. Corey Walker and I forget the other guy's name. His name is Ryan Oatley. Ryan Oatley are the writers that penned this thing, the series, not the book. They penned the series, so a lot of the story is shifted, but there's a lot more in the series than with the book. The book gets right into the action. Like, you open the first pages and you're already in it, and then halfway through it, you're still in it. So the series gives you more backstory with Mark Grayson is the lead character's name. He is a teenager who is coming of age, who is supposed to get his powers, might not get his powers. He doesn't know. His father, who goes by the name of Omni-Man, is the world's most powerful superhero. He's world renowned. Everyone knows who he is. So this kid has big shoes to fill. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really a big fan of the Invincible comic per se because it didn't feel quite original to me. In a sense where it reminded me of that. You guys remember that movie Sky High? I don't know if you guys remember that with Kurt Russell. Trying to think who else was in that. There were some other people in it that you'll recognize now that weren't in it when they were younger. But Kurt Russell was the dad who was a big superhero, and his son was on his way to school, which was Sky High, which was a school for superheroes, and they were all trying to get their powers. And he didn't develop right away; he developed late. But it gives me that vibe. It's not the same exact story because there's no like superhero school for kids. Not quite, but it gives me that vibe. It gave me that vibe when I started to really dive deep into the Invincible story and where it comes from. Now, it follows this kid Mark Grayson who's trying to find his powers. He ends up getting his powers, but then there's some twists and turns. Like his dad goes through some things. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil things, but shit hits the fan. Episode 1 is very straightforward origin about Mark Grayson. It's interesting. It's action packed. It's not boring. He's learning his powers, things of that nature. And episode 2 just straight up hits the fan, dude. Like I'm telling you, like this episode was really the one. But we'll get into that in another video. But episode 1 is pretty straightforward. It's good pacing. Great animation, very anime-ish type deal. Reminded me of the artwork that they used for the new Voltron series, kind of like that. It looks great. I have no complaints. The voice cast, so you guys know who's involved with this. So remember I said it's by the Walking Dead guy, Robert Kirkman. So of course he had to bring over some guys that he's worked with in the past. Stephen Young, who is the main character, Mark Grayson. Stephen Young, for those who don't know, he is Glenn, the one who Negan sealed his fate in season 6 of The Walking Dead. He's back and he is playing Mark Grayson in this series. Does a great job. He sounds young, very young for what he really is in person. J.K. Simmons, for all you who know that is Jameson from Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire one, and now the MCU one. He is in this. Sandra Oh is also a voice in this. J.K. Simmons, just so we can go back, he plays Omni-Man, Nolan Grayson, the father of Invincible, who is Mark Grayson, Stephen Young. So J.K. Simmons is a lead character, and Stephen Young is a lead character, and they do an awesome job. You kind of forget that it's even them that's on it. Sandra Oh plays the mother of Mark. She's Debbie Grayson. Who else we have? Zazie Beetz is in this. She's Amber Bennett in this, who I believe. No, she's not. I don't know what character she is. I think she's the black girl that's in the cartoon. Then we have Gillian Jacobs, who is Adam Eve in this series. Dude, this thing is jam-packed with celebrities. Seth Rogen is in that. He plays Alan the Alien. We also have Mark Hamill, who's voicing in this. You guys know Mark Hamill. He is Skywalker, the god. The cast is phenomenal. The tone is phenomenal. Like I'm not gonna lie, I would be very, very, very surprised based off of the fan base of this comic book and based off of the fan base of like The Boys and things of that nature if this series does not do well. And like I said, I'm gonna do a breakdown of every episode. I'll get more in depth in the episodes as I go, but the first one is just a clear, sure shot origin. You're seeing all the characters from the comic. Red Rush, Adam Eve, was it Monster Girl, I think her name is. They're in this series. She's in the series, I'm sorry. The Mauler twins. right out the gate. You see these guys. It's a ride, guys. I think that this is going to do very well. Episode 1 definitely pulled me in. It's not going to be a sleeper where you got to wait to get into it. It's definitely not a WandaVision. For those of you who just didn't like the beginning of WandaVision, you're going to get into this episode 1, and you're going to be for the ride. You're going to be there. I don't want to talk about the other ones. I keep almost wanting to, but I'm not going to talk about it. But episode 1, definitely worth the watch, worth the try. I don't remember when this comes out. I think it drops. Let's look it up. Let's see, when does this drop? There was a date. Oh, March 26th. So, all right. So we got like a week, you guys. So March 26th, you guys make sure you check out Invincible. I will be here every day from today going forward, talking about each first 3 episodes. This is my episode 1 review, and I want to know what you guys think. Are you super excited to see this? Because, like I said, I was a little hesitant because I didn't think they were going to bring the tone, the same tone that's in the comic, but they brought it. They bring it. The language, the violence, everything is there, and the energy. It's a cool. It's well drawn. It's voiced very well. And I really thoroughly enjoyed the first episode. So I'll be back to talk to you guys more about episode 2 and episode 3. And you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think? Where do you think this is going to go? Because I'm really excited to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 10, because I think there's 10 episodes of this, and it's left me on a cliffhanger, and I need more. So I want to know what you guys think. If you have any questions about what goes on in episode 1, or if anyone shows up eventually, let me know, and I will answer your comments below. Like, share, make sure you subscribe, and of course, for more news, TV news, podcast, Critics Talk, make sure you guys check out wearekritix.com, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.